get to hear us talk.
Yeah, man. Oh. Thank you.
Guys, you're welcome to stay on if you'd like.
If you're itching to stay on, feel free. You don't.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Or no.
Feel like you're still thinking about it. You can.
Oh.
All right.
Okay.
Okay, go back. Oh, okay, go. Billy Moran.
Oh, he's taking his thing.
Hey, Mike Moran's gonna be.
Mike guy's taking his uniform. What? You're here, that's right.
Yeah. You're the dumb band.
That's all that matters.
Stupid dumb band.
And the lights are so bright that I really can't tell how many people are here. Yeah, assuming it's a full crowd.
Well, that's your fault because you kept telling the guy to leave the light on. Over and over again, kept hammering the poor guy. Finally, he just flipped the switch and walked off. He's like, no more nuance lighting. That a-hole wants the light on. Boom, they're on.
I really missed you. I missed this banter.
Quite frankly. Uh-oh. Oh, wait. Oh, God. Oh! Borja's back there yelling, where's my hat? How's it going, everybody? Enjoying Las Vegas, Nevada? Day 4? Day 4.
Now, back in the day when we did Vegas, people were drunk like all weekend long.
Not anymore.
Is there still a lot of drinking going on?
No.
No, it's crystal.
How many of you have been here all 4 days? How many of you have been here 3 days? 2 days? 1 day? Some dude who's not in the room just yelled.
He's like,
I'm here for Jensen. I'm working the buffet. Oh, well, power to the people who made it for all 4 days. Good, I like it. Not the fake part. Probably should we dive into some queuing?
Yeah.
And then after we get a little cue,
we'll give you an A.
All right, right there.
Hey guys.
Tim Ollinson, what? No, I just assumed there's going to be a Tim Ollinson theme to this question.
No, I actually had a different question, but you know what? If you want to give me more Tim.
Nope.
Okay. All right. So, Rich and Rob.
Yes.
If you had the chance, Rich to direct and Rob to act, which show would you want to do? Of 911, Law and Order, or The Walking Dead?
Can I do Law and Order starring zombies?
Sure.
So like Maloney is a zombie,
Yeah.
Hargitay's a zombie,
No.
and they have to go solve zombie type crimes.
Okay.
There's only zombies.
What do I play?
A zombie. You're the bad guy that week.
Oh, the bad guy of the week.
You ate somebody's brains.
Right. So it's Law and Order, Walking Dead.
Yeah, well, Law and Order's dead.
Law and Order's dead.
Well, they're zombies.
Alright.
And they're not, so it can't be
How
walking.
about
They're not
Law and
walking,
Dead?
they're investigating. It's Law and Order.
What about Law and Dead?
Law Dead?
Yeah, Law and Dead.
Law and Dead.
Or Walking Order.
Or the Walking Order. You know what? That's I like that. And the whole show is about people moving about in a slow but orderly fashion.
Okay. Because they're zombies.
But they're walking orderly. Hate
They're in line.
lines.
Everybody's in line.
Hate lines.
Okay.
Must wait at crosswalk.
I'm iffy on what kind of part I'm playing. You just told me I'm a zombie, that's it.
That'd be great.
Are you gonna sing Happy Birthday?
Sure. Depending on your work. I've given my answer. What's your answer?
I thought it was a joint answer.
I don't know, man. I thought maybe your brain went somewhere else for something funny.
That was funny.
Okay.
I don't think I can do much better than the Walking Order.
Walking orderly walking. Ooh, maybe it's just it takes place at a hospital, but because of this post-apocalyptic, all the doctors and nurses are dead, and it's just the orderlies. And so now
The Walking Orderlies?
orderlies, but they're dead. The Walking Dead orderlies. And so they're walking in an organized fashion, and they're also low-level medical employees. How about that?
So you come in, you got a cut or something, I'll be like, right this way.
The doctor won't be right with you.
It's a great show. Thanks for your question.
Thank you for your question. You.
Happy birthday
Oh.
It's hollow and false.
So I'm a huge fan of the King's Con podcast, all of King's Con, etc. And I just love your guys' banter, and it was such a cathartic thing to have during the pandemic. But and I've been recently listening to your Rewatch Supernatural podcast as well, and I was just wondering who made the decision to like censor it, because it's kind of a bummer. Because after you guys listen to you guys just like having such organic banter on Kings of Con, and like on the shows and stuff, and then like every time somebody's like, "Oh, what the shit," and it's like, boop, it's obnoxious.
Yeah, it's not my favorite thing.
But it's you know, there's somebody cutting our checks, and that's their decision.
Yeah, I think that they just want to make it available for the family.
Yeah, I think they want it to be a wider audience, and I get it. I mean, like, it does offend some people, but it does others, and it's not vital to the content of the podcast,
Is
so.
there like a Patreon I can subscribe to get the Uncensored?
You want me, so basically you want to pay us to go, shit, fuck, balls.
Sign me up.
I mean, I got.
That sounds like an easy paycheck.
It sure shit does. Whoops, I just got paid.
I mean, I think that's a good idea. Maybe eventually we will do something like that. Yeah, like we're, even like just now we have a new episode coming out where our producer was like, there are too many oops and deeps in this one, so we're taking some of them out, Because it's really deciding what words are.
Well, we're figuring out, the show is still very new, so we're still kind of figuring out getting our sea legs.
Yeah.
So some of that might get dialed back, but I don't think there's anything that's going to go away, again, because of the audience. He's wisely trying to make this accessible for everybody.
Because otherwise you have to put that mature rating on it. Or
Yeah,
whatever.
that it also comes with its own issues, so we're trying to avoid that.
For me personally, with our Kings of Con podcast, it's always like a sign of I'm proud of the explicit check mark I have to put on it when I put it out. I'm like, yep, explicit, yes sir. But yeah, for now, if you want to hear us being uncensored, Kings of Con is for you. But yeah, so.
But thanks for listening to the podcast.
Yeah, thanks so much.
For both podcasts.
We're very happy that you like it.
Indeed, thank you. You.
Hi, I'm from Silver Lake also. Silver Lake wines stay drunk.
Nice, yeah, excellent.
Love it.
I wanted to know if there will be more drunken Kings of Con podcasts in the future.
Yeah, it was a lot easier to do them drunk when I lived at a different house and the kitchen was right next to the podcast. So really, I was recording. And
That was what was dictating your.
Yeah, it's right now in this new place I live. It's my studio's upstairs, and the kitchen's down here, and I like to keep it rolling while I make myself a drink.
Yeah, I know. You used to sound like you were taking a tinkle.
Yeah, or was it?
I don't know. It was a podcast. All I heard was the sound of ice. Something hitting the
But at
glass.
Farting Studios, we've got separation of kitchen and studio.
Yeah.
Now that being said, yeah, we need to do a good old-fashioned podcast.
We used to do that so much also because it was lockdown and we didn't have
nothing else to do.
Yeah, so we'll try to squeeze one.
Now that my moist January's over with, I think we can do it.
It was the wettest dry January in history.
Possibly.
I mean, up to your neck in water. You're
I
looking at
made
some
it.
bone dry.
I made it a good 4 days. But yes, we will. I think that's a good idea. I think we need to reintroduce alcohol to the podcast.
Hey, Rob, want to get a drink? No, it's my dry Hemi week. It's not even a full week, but yeah, half week.
Yeah.
4 days.
Hemi week.
Hemi week. Anyway,
Yeah.
thank you for appreciating our ongoing wrestling match with alcohol abuse. Thank you, appreciate it. You.
Hey guys, first off, last night, great concert, had a blast.
Thank you.
Great.
Yep, and I actually have an observation and a question. First, my observation is, I'm not sure if you guys know, you're actually in a haunted hotel, and it kind of reminds me of the real Ghostbusters.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Bally's actually was at the MGM back in the day, and there was a fire here that killed like dozens of people. I know it's a morbid thing to think about, but convention being here, aside from the Rio, it's just kind of an interesting observation.
A little more perfect for supernatural.
Yeah, exactly. What do you guys think about that?
I think it's very on brand.
Yeah, it's very on brand, and makes me wish that Chad was here so he could get some measurements. Is he really? Oh, yeah, Chad, Beverly.
Yeah, man, turn on his little machine.
Yeah. Yeah, I had heard that actually, and I was like, oh wow, they're ghosts. But nobody heard me ask the question, so I never got an answer. So now I know the answer. There are indeed ghosts.
Indeed.
I'm not the biggest fan of ghosts. I like to see what what I should be scared of.
You say it again?
I don't like ghosts.
Oh, well then don't conjure them.
Okay.
I mean, while we're here, I don't want you to accidentally conjure ghosts.
Okay, fine.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, thank you guys, and just be careful and look around. This place is pretty spooky.
Okay.
Yeah. That was the question?
Was that the question?
I thought there was a question attached to the observation.
Was the question just what do you think of that? I like it.
You.
Me. Got it. So, I thought about asking Jared and Jensen this morning in Goldtown, but I think y'all are better suited to answer it truthfully.
Okay.
So Sam, Dean, Soldier Boy, and Walker stroll into the combat arena. Who walks out?
Me, because I don't want to see those guys get hurt. I had no idea. Soldier Boy is the character. I haven't seen. I don't know Soldier Boy, so I don't. Is he?
Soldier Boy is a character that he's going to play in the
I
board.
know, but I
don't know
it
yet.
hasn't come out yet, so I don't know.
Right.
Is he a good fighter?
I'm
Yeah.
gonna say yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's a superhero. So.
Well, then I go with Soldier Boy. He's a superhero, right?
Yeah.
Everybody else is a guy.
True.
What? You got a thought?
No, I don't think I can argue with that. Soldier Boy has this supernatural powers.
Alright, sweet.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You.
Hi, guys.
Hey.
Hi.
Thank you on behalf of all of us for doing such a great job. This is crazy weekend in Vegas.
Thank you.
As it should be.
And me and my friend Krista, the other mic, we actually have the same question for you. It's like a gift from the audience to both of you. Happy birthday to you.
Doing a nice job, buddy.
Happy birthday to you.
Been a good con for you, buddy.
Happy birthday, dear Rob.
Oh, I got looped in.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
We are proud of our award this weekend.
I thought it would have been funny if they collectively decided the joke was Happy birthday, dear Richard.
We're mean, we're not that
But thank you so much. I feel fulfilled.
Yeah.
It's finally happened. So
Nicely done. Thank
you
you.
did good work.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Over here.
Hi, Richard, you're my favorite.
I'm right here.
So my friends and I are in a group chat, and we always use like supernatural memes and gifs and stuff. Even like when talking to my husband or like family or whatever. If you guys, especially the Casa Veronica one, whatever. Anyway, if you guys use any of those when you're talking to your friends or each other.
You know, if there were a war going on, I would put you on one end of the messaging system because no one would be able to catch what you were saying. We could retranslate it on their end by playing it back slowly. I have no idea what just happened.
She says that let me translate Rich to you to Rich. First of all, you're her favorite.
What? Thank you.
Yeah. And I said, I'm right here. And she's like,
Nailed it.
when she talks to her friends, they
Yeah.
send each other gifts, right?
Like presents?
No. GIFs.
FYI.
No. And a lot of them are supernatural related, like Casa Veronica for you.
Right, yeah.
Okay. And she wants to know if we do that, and the answer is yes, we do. In fact, you and I had a really funny one recently where the whole conversation was gifts back and forth. Remember?
Yeah.
And then you told me I had a strong gift game.
Yeah, but I can't remember do you remember the content of it?
No, it was like, it was like, are you gonna, usually they're not us. Occasionally, there's a huge supernatural cast text chain, and those a lot of times will send, Matt Cohen will send ones of himself, Jensen will send ones of themselves, sort of ironically. But Rich and I have a back and forth, and it was like, are you coming to the thing? And he was like, yes, and then I sent like a slow clap. And then he sent a bow, and then I said this. It was a whole conversation back and forth. Two old guys just trying to figure it all out. You looking for it?
Let's see if I can dial it up real quick.
There's a lot, we text a lot.
I don't know, yeah, we got a lot. It's a lot of real estate here.
I wonder if you go into I up here for the information.
You guys look like my parents.
Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah.
Jesus.
So that's a picture of you and
No,
him.
not that. Like videos? Is there one that's like
No, it's documents.
just downloads?
No.
Anyway, it's fun to watch.
At some point, you can send me a picture of a man in a Speedo. I don't know what that is.
That's not true. Anyway, yeah, we do. We try to have fun with those, but yeah, they're funny. The Supernatural cast one's funny when Jensen or Jared or Matt Cohen kind of make them into it.
Indeed.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much.
She says thank you back.
Oh, thank you back. Oh, is there more? Yeah, go ahead.
My birthday present was supposed to be last year for the convention, but then it got changed to this year, and everybody was so excited because the jet that I always use and my husband always uses is the one of Richard popping up and giving a kiss, and you're like, oh, you're gonna give me a kiss, but I didn't get it, and then you didn't get it. But I was really excited to see the autograph of the Casa Erotica picture, and he put Angelica, I got a deposit for you, and I was really excited, so I just wanted to say thank you again.
Well said, and you're welcome.
I agree.
It's really a shame because all that was for you and you didn't catch it.
Really? That's a skill. Thank you very much. Yes, ma'am.
Hi. This is my first convention and also my first time in Vegas.
Great, welcome.
Welcome to both.
So my question is, what is the craziest thing that has happened on set for Supernatural?
That involved us?
Yeah, sure.
Because I think there were crazy things that might have happened that we weren't involved with.
I would imagine so. Craziest thing. Supernatural.
I
mean, it's this is not like haha hilarious funny, but I do remember how, and this probably everybody has a story about their own workplace or school or home life and that, but it was really weird navigating Supernatural when COVID started. Because I was directing an episode right as that started to roll out, and suddenly no one knew what was going on. It's weird because the show has a lot of scary and creepy elements. And suddenly the world around it felt scary and creepy as well. It was very strange last few days of that show before it became the new normal.
For sure, and we'll just hop onto that same thing. And I went up to shoot the second to last episode 6 months later, and we quarantined in our rooms for 14 days, and Jake Abel was right below me, and we would Zoom at night, me, Jake, Jensen, and Jared, because we were all quarantining at the same time, and that's not a great story, but I decided I was drinking tequila, Jake wanted some, so I put it on a string, and I lowered it down to him on the balcony beneath me, and we did it on camera, so Jensen and Jared could see it. And then they saw him getting it, and he poured it, and then yanked it, and I pulled it back up. That was pretty fun.
Like a big kid treehouse.
That was pretty fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah. But yeah, and things were different. It was weird, craft services where you get your snacks during the day, go get a coffee or something if you're a little hungry. Then after COVID, all that was gone. You had to go to a truck and order something. There was a table that you couldn't get in there. You're just like, hey, can I just get a cup of coffee? All right?
Kind of hazmat suit.
Yeah. Everything was really weird.
Yeah, so that was one of the weirder on-set experiences. We both had different ways. He had it when they were figuring it out, how to shoot with it. We were trying to figure out how to shoot before it arrived. And every time the producer would come downstairs, Craig Matheson, we'd all stop and go, are we working or are we not working? Because he'd be like, okay, they just closed down Arrow, but we're going to plow through. It was really weird. It was really strange.
Yeah, I remember I was talking to Jim Michaels because I was supposed to fly out that Friday. And on Thursday, I was like, am I getting on a plane? He's like, as of now, you are. I'm like, okay. And then Thursday night, he called me, he's like, don't get on that plane.
And there you go. That plane won't be taking off. Thank you for your question. Appreciate it.
Hi guys, I love you both, but Rob, you're my favorite.
Nice.
Thank you. One-to-one.
I want to know, Rob, what was your inspiration for doing your album? And Rich, does the Machete know that newsman Frank was on stage?
Well, Rob, you want to take your? I'll answer mine quick.
Sure.
Yeah. She knows. She. I don't know if she knows about All Boys taking the stage this morning, but I sent her a couple of pictures that floated around there. So that was really cute.
Did you record it when they were on stage? Did you record the screen?
Bella, their niece, my niece, their cousin did.
The recording?
Yeah.
Cool.
It's cute.
Yeah, that was great. And it's true, that is Frank from, the famous Frank from
News from the World correspondent.
Yeah, and there were a couple of News from the World correspondents that were all three boys were in there.
Yeah, I know. Well, we're all three wondering when they're going to eat.
Yeah, totally.
The world really is.
The News from the World is usually just one of his boys coming in saying, when's dinner? because we always record around 6 p.m.
Mom wants you to stop this nonsense and come inside.
And thank you for asking about the album. I basically, I have like a surplus of songs that weren't going to make it to the Loud Swain album, because we're all kind of songwriters now in that band, and there's songs that really meant a lot to me, very personal songs, and I really felt like the last piece of the equation was having an audience to hear them. Otherwise I didn't want them to sit on a shelf. So I went to Nashville and I recorded with a producer friend, and we got some Nashville musicians who were incredible, and I'm just super proud of the way it came out. And yeah, it was just something I'd never done before, and I really wanted to have that experience.
It's really beautiful, I love it.
Thank you so much.
Do you have that record for sale here at the venue?
I do.
Out at the merch table?
Yeah, it's called Leave the Light On.
Okay, Leave the Light On, that's what it's called. That's the album.
Yeah.
Rob Bennett. First solo record from Rob Bennett.
Yeah, so check it out if you can.
Available here.
And if you don't have a CD player, I understand that too.
Spotify.
But it is on the Spotify and the iTunes. But
thank you for your question.
Thank you so much.
There.
Hi, afternoon, sirs. Basically, I have a question for the trickster. You kind of generated between three roles. First, we met you as a trickster, then you elevated Gabriel, and then finally we met you as Loki, confronting Loki. What was it like trying to kind of transition between those three characters and evolve from one to the next?
Thank goodness the writers gave me the opportunity to do that. You get hired to do a job and you don't know what it's going to be. Usually it's a guest star. It's not that complex. This was a guest star that, I started when, you saw my tallest boy when he was on stage. He was 6 months old. And, this many years later, we're still having a conversation about the character. I think it's cool that I was afforded the opportunity to play Trickster that became Gabriel, because then Gabriel had a bigger part in the mythology and became a more vital part of the overall story. And then I'm glad the show stayed on long enough for them to run out of enough ideas. They had to circle back and tell the origin story. So I thought that was pretty awesome to get to go back and dust that off and explore the whole three-dimensional version of the world that brought Loki into the story and everything else. So I thought it all pretty fantastic. Thank you for the question. You.
Hello.
Hey.
So this question is actually for my dad. I don't know where he is, over there somewhere. But he likes to fish, and he wanted me to ask you guys, if you guys have a boat, what do you call it? Or if you want a boat, what would you call it?
I don't have a boat.
I don't have a boat either. However, I love fishing. I used to fish when I was a kid with my grandfather. So I would love to have a boat someday. What would I call it?
I've always wanted to call it ESS. So I can call my boat the SSS. Rob?
Was that already in your head? Or did you just make that up?
I don't keep nautical answers just floating around the middle.
Okay. I would call it, I gotta stand up and walk around and have that idea in my head. I gotta get over SSS. It feels sometimes like you do. Like you got this computer brain and you're like, boat question, 1 second. And then, ESS. Okay, I would call it. I would call it In Chuck We Trust.
There we go. People who knew the show would get it. People who didn't know the show would go,
What the?
this guy really believes in Chuck.
Yeah.
His friend Charles is very trustworthy.
Yeah. And then,
What's your dad's boat called?
I don't know.
Sounds like a great father-daughter relationship here.
He only takes me to conventions, so.
Well, I thought it was funny when you first asked. You said this is a question for my dad, meaning your dad has the question, but at first I thought you were going to do this question for my dad. Dad, how come?
He asked me, he's like, go to a question. I was like, I don't know what to do. So I texted my little brother, and then I texted my dad, and he's like, ask him this. I was like, why don't you come ask them? 'Cause I don't know.
Well, now people know. I think it's an important question. Now everyone knows.
You did a lovely job doing it, Jade. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi.
This is my first time at the convention.
Welcome.
Rich is my favorite. Sorry.
Awesome. 2-1.
I was wondering if you both have a favorite movie that you can watch over and over again and you never get bored of it.
I tell you, I have a lot of movies that I like that are like that. Meaning, if I stumble across it and it's on, odds are I'm going to finish it. Shawshank Redemption is one of them. Any point in Shawshank, I can start and enjoy the movie.
Young Frankenstein.
Yeah, The Young Frankenstein. Fletch. The Jerk. One of my all-time favorite movies. What else? The Godfather 1 or 2 are movies that I love.
Do you guys want to know mine?
Yes.
Yeah.
Stand By Me.
Oh,
Really good movie.
Really good. Oh, Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Great.
Jaws.
Yeah. Really good. Thank you so much. Different world though. We're no longer flipping channels and stumble across movies.
I guess
Just go.
yeah.
Just go.
I still do, just because I do like that sensation of flipping through
Oh,
channels.
really?
Yeah.
I don't have channels anymore. I just have like apps.
Well, I don't either, but I've got YouTube TV,
Oh, okay.
like you do, right?
No, I Sling, but gosh, that's right. I never use it.
I got YouTube TV, which has the normal channels on it, and I just kind of flip through that.
That's cool. You.
Okay, so I asked the same question to Alex, but this one's for Rob. So would you rather question, would you rather for 1 month, Rich and his kids follow you around and narrate your life, or for 1 month, you have to be Jared's personal assistant?
Rich and his kids.
Yeah, that's a no-brainer. I could have answered that.
I was going to say, I was waiting for the second choice, but I was like, can I have just the kids, not Rich? But then the other one, I would know. Whatever number 1 was.
Live in a house of food? Yeah, I'll take number 1. Thank you for your question.
Thank you.
Yes, Betty.
So this is a question for you, Rob. You played 3 very different versions of Chuck. You had like the very squirrely, like prophet Chuck. You had the really detached, like not like affecting anything Chuck, and then the evil, like awful author, father, God Chuck. And I was wondering which was your favorite and why.
Oh, that's a good question. My favorite was probably, look, there was something I really enjoyed about every one of them, but I guess my heart is with OG Chuck. Who didn't quite know, or wasn't really out of the closet as God yet, and you know, there was just something a little bit more like me about him, afraid of everything, neurotic, drank too much, stayed in his house a lot, and wrote. It's everything that I am. But yeah, so there was something about that. I think it was kind of charming character, you know, sort of being nervous on stage in front of people and stuff like that. I enjoyed playing that. But there was also something that I really liked about the season 11 Chuck, you know, being God, but being that sort of estranged dad. It's still kind of funny almost, you know, eating Chinese food. And it's like, I don't know, you know. And then there's, of course, the notorious final season Chuck, which nobody likes, but it's always fun to play bad guys, so that was kind of fun too.
Who's your favorite? Which version is your favorite?
I do have a soft spot for the original, but the season 11 one is really compelling to me just because I'm Jewish and it felt very Jewish.
Ah, yeah.
Where there would be like God, but he doesn't really deal with anything.
Yeah.
It's really interesting.
Totally.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Hi, how you doing? So I was in the military, and while I was in the military, I was stationed in South Korea. My wife, Sajin, is in the middle. I hope she'll wave. Hey, honey, can you wave? Can you say hi to my wife?
Hey, hi, wife.
Hi.
So,
hey, Sajin.
So the reason why I bring that up is, so I got out of the military, got my dream job, and then, of course, COVID happened, and we actually happened to be here in Vegas when you were doing your convention 2 years ago when we were, trying to build a house because we were moving here. Anyway, long story short, my wife already felt a little isolated because English is their second language, and so she had watched Supernatural back in Korea. So I don't know if you were aware that they showed it on their actual regular network channel over there.
Oh.
And so she got up to season 6 or 7. Pandemic hit, of course. We were both kind of bummed out because I lost the dream job. And so anyway, your show basically helped shape her English language during the course of the pandemic. And it helped her, and SpongeBob, by the way. But on those miserable days, that kind of like helped get her through it. And so towards the end, of course, she got into South Park. Thank God for that, because this week has been a very good South Park week for her in terms of the language going on up here. But she, I know there was a couple questions she had, but she wants to know from each of you, what is your most favorite episode of all of Supernatural and why?
Favorite episode?
First of all, thank you for your service.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for your service. And we don't have, this is a question, do we have to be, it's not an episode that we have to be in, per se. It's just...
whatever episode you choose.
Okay. I got one.
Okay, great.
Is there?
French mistake?
Swan Song.
Swan Song. Oh, cool.
French Mistake also, I mean, there are several that are like in my back pocket. It's like my absolute favorite. French Mistake being one of them. But I thought Swan Song, the way they did Super 8 footage of the kids, little kids, and getting the story of the, John and Mary buying the car. And I just thought it was really well done. So I'll go with Swan Song.
Yeah, that's a great, and it felt that way when we were doing it too, because it was Kripke's love letter to the show. It had a lot of heart.
But French Mistake, you mentioned that one too. That's
French Mistake, I just think is a genius.
Yeah.
I love when they do the meta episodes. I love Changing Channels is such a great episode. I guess just like selfishly, one that just for me meant something to film it is Don't Call Me Shirley, just because. And I say that because I got to be in it, but Robbie Thompson is our favorite writer, and he wrote some of the best episodes of Supernatural.
He's a great writer.
And he wrote something that's like a one-act play between two characters, and you just don't see scenes, long-form, talky scenes like that on TV anymore, and I just feel like it's a pretty special episode in that way.
100%. So we gave you 3.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for your question. I love Sajin.
Thank you so much.
I love that she has learned English through watching Supernatural. I would love to think that when she speaks English, she's like, so we gotta go to the grocery store.
I was thinking the same thing. She's like, very sweet voice.
Yeah, very sweet voice.
Natural language, and then she's like, Salmon!
Yeah.
Oh, son of a bitch.
Yeah, that's it. We're gonna go to the grocery store. Are you gonna be a bag of dicks?
When you come to Vegas, what's your favorite card games to play, and do you usually win or lose?
I don't gamble at all, so I don't play cards. So I got nothing for you. Robbie?
Blackjack is the one I know how to play the best, and that's usually what I will play, although I do lose. I never win, and so anymore, I really don't like to gamble, because I just never win.
You gamble this weekend? Have you gambled?
No. When I was here a month ago, I came to Vegas to see some old friends, and one of my friends was playing a concert here, so we saw his concert. And we're like walking through the casino, and I was like, somebody sat down at a blackjack table, and I was like, no, screw it, I'll do it. And I sat down and I gave him a $100 bill to make change about it. I thought, I'll just blow $100 on this table. And then I put out a 20 chip, and he's like, it's a $100 minimum. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna need that 100 back, but I'm out. I got up and walked away.
Yeah, man.
I can't do it. I just can't do it. I'm not gonna win. It's like throwing away $100. I'm just not gonna do it.
It's one thing if you play like a low stakes table, you can play for 30 minutes with $100.
Exactly.
But $100,
And if you really want to win, you got to gamble big. And I'm just not. I can't take the depression when I lose. It hurts. I used to back in the day. My wife and I would come to Vegas and we'd play roulette, and that was kind of fun. You put on your lucky number, your anniversary or whatever, and that was kind of fun if you won. Or even if you didn't, you're like, well, it was a fun sort of thing to do, but I still want to lose as money anymore.
No, I hear you, buddy. I'm in the same boat, but I don't mess with it. Okay. There are easier ways for me to lose money.
I'm not gonna do it, Rich.
I can do it. But thank you for your question.
Thank you.
Take one more over here, this young lady.
Hello.
Hey.
I have a joke for you.
Oh,
great.
Why did Rob bury his money?
Why did Rob bury his money?
Why did Rob bury his money?
To make his soil rich.
Not just in time.
It's a Rob and Rich related joke.
Good one. Well done.
I like it. Much funnier than Norton has been all week.
Yeah. Thank you. Do you have a question as well?
Yes.
Okay.
If you had to be stuck in one movie, what would it be for however amount of time?
If I had to be stuck in one movie, what would that movie be?
Star Wars. I would just like to just be in one of the Star Wars planets, just live on Tatooine, you know what I mean, go to the bar sometimes. Maybe I'm just a farmer. I don't have to be anything, I just like that world, I just want to live in that world. Maybe have a ship, I can fly around a little bit.
It's cool.
Yeah. Maybe I go to Hoth, you know, celebrate Christmas at Hoth, and come back on home to Tatooine.
Little skiing in Hoth.
Little skiing in Hoth.
Let's see, what movie would I want to be stuck in? The Texas Chainsaw
Porky's and Porky's.
Yeah, that's the movie he would like to be stuck in. Okay.
Meatballs?
Oh, Calcutta. Meatballs would be fun. Camp all the time.
Yeah.
With Bill Murray, the counselor.
Yeah.
I just watched that movie. I just showed the boys that movie.
Oh, really?
Recently. Because Ivan Reitman died.
All right.
And Ivan Reitman made so many phenomenal comedies, I wanted to start educating my boys on his films.
Does it hold up?
We watched, yeah, listen, it holds up. There are definitely some dated jokes that you're like, hey guys, that would would not be okay today. But for the most part, Bill Murray is so funny and his comedy's timeless. And so Rob's going to go with Star Wars, and I'm going to go with Meatballs.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. The band's here, which leads me to believe that it's time for us to go. Is this it? I mean, are we done?
We're done.
Oh man, so this is goodbye to the band.
Hey, real quick, just thank you. Well, just thank you for everything this weekend, and thanks for accepting Rich and myself and the band.
It's been great. It's been 2 years since I've been at a convention. It's been great to return, and I really enjoy the fact that I got to return to the very place where we last left off.
It's really great to have you. We missed you on stage here. So it's great to have you back.
It's lovely to be on stage with you, and you guys. It's been a real treat. The new Norton, we're excited to see where your comedy goes. It's been awesome. And there are autographs, there are photographs, the band has their merch. Go and do and have a great rest of your day. But for now, this is goodbye from the band and the stage. Robbie?